I cheated with my husband's friend on our wedding day on a dare. He found out and ruined my life. The call came 3 years too late, and yet, the moment I heard his voice, everything inside me went silent. "Do you ever think about that night?" he asked. That night. I didn't answer. I didn't have to. The weight of it still lived in my bones. The laughter, the champagne, the dress that smelled of roses and guilt, our wedding day, and the secret that should have never followed me home. I stood by the window, staring at the rain sliding down the glass. Each drop looked like a memory trying to escape. My husband, Ethan, was downstairs, humming softly, making coffee like it was any other morning. He didn't know this call was from his best friend. "Don't hang up," his friend whispered. "You owe me an answer." My chest tightened. That word, owe, burned, because once upon a time I did owe him. A dare, a mistake, a single night that never ended. And when Ethan's voice echoed faintly from below, "Coffee's ready, love," the world began to close in on itself. The past had finally come home. It started as a joke, a stupid dare whispered between champagne glasses at the after-party. "Bet you won't," his friend, Aaron, had said. His smile too confident, his tone too casual. The air between us had always carried something unsaid, something dangerous. I told myself it was harmless, that I'd just flirt, just prove a point, just feel that power for a second. But seconds turn into sins when no one's watching. And that night, I crossed a line I could never uncross. Ethan never found out, at least that's what I believed. We built a life, a house, smiles for photos, promises for anniversaries. But guilt has a pulse, slow, steady, and patient. Every time Ethan touched me, I wondered if he felt it. The tremor under my skin, the shadow of someone else's name buried beneath my breath. Then, weeks ago, something shifted. A silence between us, a question left hanging too long. And last night, I found something. A hidden phone in Ethan's drawer. Messages from an unknown number. Screenshots. My name. And one line that froze the air in my throat. "She'll confess soon." Wait. From that moment on, I started seeing things differently. Ethan's smile, his stillness, the quiet way he watched me across the room. Every conversation felt rehearsed, like I was walking into lines he already knew. He'd ask questions that felt harmless, but weren't. "Do you still talk to Aaron? What really happened that night? You remember the dare, don't you?" The calmness in his tone terrified me more than anger ever could. I began to watch him back, following his patterns, reading his texts when he slept. Every thread led back to one conclusion. He knew. He was waiting for me to crumble. And yet, he still made breakfast, still kissed my forehead, still said, "I love you," with the quiet precision of a man writing his own revenge. Then, one evening, I came home to find a box on the bed. Inside, my wedding veil. And a note. "You looked beautiful that night. So did he." The handwriting was Ethan's. That night, I didn't sleep. I just sat in the dark, watching the shadows crawl across the walls, realizing that love had turned into a silent war, and I was losing ground by the minute. A week later, Ethan invited me to dinner, just the two of us. Candlelight, my favorite wine, my favorite song. It almost felt merciful, until I saw Aaron sitting at the table too. My heart stopped. Ethan smiled softly, gesturing to the chair between them. "Sit, love. It's been a while." Neither man spoke for a moment. The silence was surgical. Then Ethan slid a small black device across the table, a recorder. He pressed play. My voice filled the room. Laughter, breathless words, the kind you can't take back. The sound of the night I'd buried 3 years ago. Aaron's head dropped. Ethan's eyes didn't move from mine. "You thought I didn't know," he said quietly. "I wanted you to. I wanted you to wonder every single day when it would fall apart. I tried to speak. No words came. Only the cold realization that my world had already been dismantled, piece by piece, behind my back." Ethan leaned forward, voice soft, steady, merciless. "I recorded everything, every lie, every excuse. You built this house on rot, and now I'm just letting it collapse." Then he stood and walked away, not with rage, but with finality, as if I was already gone. The fallout was swift. The next morning, my job email flooded with the recording, sent anonymously. My family stopped calling. Friends stopped answering. Aaron disappeared. And Ethan? He didn't yell, didn't destroy anything. He simply erased me. Bank accounts closed. My name off the deed. Every trace of our marriage deleted, like it was never real. I tried to confront him once. He looked at me the same way one might look at an old photograph. Detached, nostalgic, but done. "You played a dare," he said quietly. "I played a game. Difference is, I never lost." His words hit harder than any slap ever could, because deep down I knew he was right. I had turned love into a gamble, and he had made sure I paid the full price. Months passed. The scandal faded. People forgot my name. But sometimes I still see Ethan, in dreams, in reflections, in the corner of my guilt. His eyes, calm and knowing. His silence louder than anything I could say. And somewhere in that silence, I found a strange kind of peace. Because revenge, I learned, isn't about destruction. It's about absence. About taking everything someone thought they had and leaving nothing in return. He didn't just ruin my life, he rewrote it. And now I wake each morning with the same thought. He was never my husband. He was the punishment I created myself.
How could you do this?